In January 2018, I was exactly halfway through my degree at Edgehill University, when suddenly, my granddad Danny passed away. It was devastating. He was larger than life, and I thought he was invincible. We scattered his ashes on Winter Hill, overlooking Rivington Pike, one of his favourite places to walk. There are 2 cairnstones that are locally referred to as Twarlads. This is part of where he resides now. A couple months later, my mum gifted me her Nikon F65 film camera. I was practicing photography with it, and really enjoying how analogue the process was. I was slowly getting to grips with shooting film and making images. As time passed, I still felt like I had no outlet for my grief. So that summer, I began to explore the idea of working on a project about Grandad. Initially, I tested out a couple of cameras and film stocks to see if anything resonated with me. I shot some rough exposures on Ilford XP2 with a Zenit B and a Helix 442 lens. These were very rough and quick exposures, taken of Grandad's tools inside his garage. They were okay at the starting point really. What I did find is that Grandad's tools provoked an emotional response in me. From a young age onwards, I would stand by his toolbox waiting for him to shout out the tool he needed. I could probably count on one hand how many times I guessed correctly. We inherited one of Grandad's toolboxes, specifically his yellow one. This had his bigger tools and weighed about 40 kilos when it was full, really heavy. This collection of photographs I shot on Kodak XR 100 to maximise colour accuracy and have minimal grain in the images. All of his tools and accessories were so colourful, yet well used and worn, and I really wanted to capture the richness and tactile beauty of everything. I photographed Grandad's tools, his toolbox, his working overalls. I also included the flowers from his funeral service, and a shirt he gifted to me a couple months before he passed. Even one of his running medals from 2006. Nothing could stop Grandad from going for a run. Even 9 months after a quadruple heart bypass,
That's Grandad.
he entered the Rivington Pike Fell race,
Go on, Danny!
as he did most years.
Give him a shout, Joe.
After each run he would come home, return his fell shoes to the garage and do a small workout with his weights bench. I joined him a few times. He was as strong as an ox. His garage really was a special place, uniquely his. The smell of grease, oil and WD-40 always transports me to his garage, and ultimately, the house. Nana and Grandad's house. A space of ultimate comfort and safety. It was only natural that I photographed it. This collection of photographs I shot with Grandad's Agfa Isolet 1. He bought it brand new in around 1958. 60 years later, it came into my hands as a gift from my Nana. This was my first venture into medium format film photography. I was just excited to see that the camera still worked. I started at the garage, a space I knew provoked memories of Grandad. And slowly worked my way through the house, each room, figuring out and finding what was drawing my attention. Countless family photos, his favourite chair to watch the news from, and, naturally, my Nana. Even in the empty spaces, like the kitchen, I could still feel him there, like I was waiting for him to just come round the corner and appear into frame. Eventually I took his camera to the Albert Dock. It felt nice to take him with me. We went there many times as a family. Grandad was a boiler engineer in the Merchant Navy, so I made a couple exposures of the Maritime Museum and one of the Liver Building's clock tower. Over the last couple of years I've become really fascinated with this little cup. It's got 2 penguins on it holding hands, and ever since I was a kid I always thought it represented Nana and Grandad. Grandad used to keep it by his bedside table. As far back as I can remember, he always drank out of that cup. It's strangely comforting finding it in the cupboards. For this series, I placed the cup in places where Danny was. Around the house, in his garage, and in some instances, where he remains. This is an ongoing series. I'm not quite sure where it's leading, but when I found out my nana was moving house, I knew I had to go back for more. There's a light that lingers in Nana's house, a warm light that shines through the blinds and windows. On one of my last visits, before helping Nana pack, I shot one roll of film on my Bronica GS1. I wanted to capture the way the light fell on the house and into the garage for one final time before saying goodbye. I'll really miss the space, but I think I've captured the essence of the memories. Within a year of Grandad passing away, I visited his garage before we cleared it out. I shot some footage with no real intention of doing anything substantial with it. When I returned to university, I found myself drawn to the idea of creating one of my final film submissions about him. So I set out to represent how I felt about his death, and subsequently, how I found myself remembering him. This is for you, Danny.
tell by his voice. Let's have a look. That's Grandad. Go on, Danny! Give me a shout, Joe.
When I went up Rivington the other week,
Oh,
when
Dad!
I went up Rivington the other week, and a fella says, you're not doing so bad for an elf.
Looking good.
That's me cardiologist. He done a good
Keep
job.
going.
He done a good
Going.
job.
Oh, pop the magic dragon, live by the sea. I'm frolicked in the autumn mist in the land. Holiday, magic dragon, live by the sea. I'm frolicked in the autumn mist in a land called Holiday.
One of the last conversations I had with Grandad, he asked me what I wanted to do with my life. I think if he saw this film, he'd be a step closer to figuring that out.